Yo everyone, Trunks here, and I want you all to do me a quick favor and subscribe to Silverpone. You won't be sorry. Well, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I've got some training to go do. Yo, Conton!
What's up guys, Silverpone here, and today we're going to talk about a potential new city in Xenoverse 3. So with that being said, let's look at the city that we have in Xenoverse 2. We can see that the map is pretty big, so it could probably go bigger. You know, Xenoverse 2 has showed us that from the first game to the second game, major improvements have been made in and of themselves within the hub world, as well as like many other things too. But the hub world is like a major improvement from the first game that we had. So it's not a far stretch to say that Xenoverse 3 would definitely go bigger and far beyond what we've seen in Xenoverse 2. Now, how much further that would be, I'm not completely sure, but I will say that my whole idea with Xenoverse 3 is that it should be an open map game. You know, segmented maps that are huge, but are big enough to explore, kind of like what Conton City is in and of itself in Xenoverse 2. But just all the maps should be this way, as well as the hub world. So, or the main city, my fault. The main city though, being as big as it is in Xenoverse 2, like I said, it can go bigger. And I think that they should really just focus on making the areas that they've segmented in the main city. Like you see, we have the desert area over here, then we have like the Namekian area, then we have like the city area as well. They should include like more land for all of these areas, so they should just be bigger. We could have more of a Namex segment, more of a desert segment, more of a this thing segment, and it could just be like little chunks of the map, little chunks of the maps that we have in Xenoverse 3 that are kind of squished together into this huge like main city hub world area. So you can look at something like Dragon Ball The Breakers as well. Dragon Ball The Breakers maps are huge. Well, not really huge, but they're big. And they're segmented as well. They're not just one, you know, complete map, like one textured map. It's like you'll have like a desert area, a Namekian area, like a regular forest area, like a wasteland area. It's like all of that just meshed together. Kind of like what Conton City is. They just took that level to the extreme. So maybe you could take some of the maps that Breakers has in and of themselves and use them as like a reference for what Xenoverse 3's main city could be, if they want to stick with the segmented option, that is. Because if they want to go with like a regular, you know, big map that's just kind of like one theme, you know, it's not really segmented in like different themes, that'd be fine too. I'd be okay with that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would. But Xenoverse 2 has shown us that this is what is the norm now. Now I'm trying to remember if Xenoverse 1 was segmented as well. I don't think it was. I think it was just one main city. So if that was the case, you know, going from Xenoverse 1 to this game, they brought all the segments here in like all the different areas. So Xenoverse 3 maybe should just take that and build off of it, because it's what Xenoverse 2 did. So it would just make sense for them to do that, in my opinion. Now, getting into like more of the nitty gritty, like I said, this whole video makes more sense if you've seen my open map video, because I still believe that, you know, the game should be open map, going bigger and more beyond what, you know, Xenoverse 2's barriers could do. That being said, like the open map areas like Conton City or Canopy, I don't know what the name would be. Contonia. I don't know. Contonia could be the name of the city or something. So yeah, they could just take, you know, different little things and incorporate them into the map. So for instance, like I was saying in one of my previous videos, this is essentially what I'm asking for in a Xenoverse 3. Just this, all the maps to be like this, the new city to be like this, and the new city could just build off of themes that we've had in the second game. We have all these NPCs around. You know, the Majin Buu kids ask for chocolate and different things like that. Talking to these NPCs should have some type of reward or some type of thing. It should, you know, they shouldn't just be there left to rot, you know, never having to interact with them or anything. And maybe you could put some of the NPCs that are in the city in like situations where they need to be rescued, you know. Maybe there's like a there's more outlaws in the new city area because it's bigger now, and you need to rescue people because certain people attack, and you know, you just need to defend areas. That would be cool in and of itself too, like new concepts like that. I know like the school has different gimmicks with, like, you know, Krillin doing like some like milk errand thing. Then you have like you know, Trunks teaching a special class, stuff like that. They could just incorporate things like that. We know that Xenoverse 2 has a flying license. You know, for you to be able to fly in Conton City, you have to be able to have a flying license. That being that, you know, you have to go through the story mode to the Frieza saga, complete that, and you have your flying license. Maybe they could integrate that with the school function in Xenoverse 3. So maybe, you know, instead of it being like a story mode locked feature, maybe it's something where you need to just go to a school, or the Orange School, Orange Star High School, and maybe there's just like a special class you take for flight. Maybe it's just like 3 missions you do, and it's just you literally flying around the new city area because it's so huge, and it just kind of gives you a rundown of everything, and you have your license after that. That would be plain, clear cut and simple. Now, the new city area also, getting on another tangent, I'm sorry, I'm like leaping all over the place here, but hopefully this video sparks a lot of ideas for you guys for a new city too. You know, we have player versus player matches, PvP. Sometimes when you're just in the lobby, like running around, doing different things, people run up to you and they challenge you for a fight. And so if that's the case, maybe if you're fighting and someone runs up to you in the city area and they challenge you to a fight, the people around should be able to spectate that fight. Like, that fight should just take place right then and there in that spot. And, you know, people should be able to watch the fight. And I think that people that are locked into like spectator mode should be able to place bets on like Zenny or TP on who's going to win the fight. So that would just make fights more, you know, it would just give them more of a dynamic and being a different thing from Xenoverse 2, but also being the same thing. Just adding a couple features would just give it that, just that grandioseness that it needs. That's a crazy word to use there, but I'm using it. But yeah, man, different things like that. And building off of the same idea that, you know, they should use the school more and different things like that. Go ahead and just give us a house, man. Give the players a house. And that might sound crazy to you. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Xenoverse? Like, what, you need a house in Xenoverse? It's not just the fact that I want to have a house just to have a house in Xenoverse. It's the fact that, yes, that is cool to have a house, but we need more incentives to spend our Zenny. For instance, look at my Zenny right now. Look at my Zenny. I have 13 million Zenny on my account as of this moment. I'm not spending that Zenny on anything right now. So if I had like a house, maybe I could have different things incorporated in my house, like furniture, different things, collectibles from parallel quests and raid quests, items that you could get. Maybe that will be placed within my home, and maybe I can invite people in that home. And even if this sounds like a stretch to you, Fighter Z already introduced this mechanic in the game in and of itself. I remember in Fighter Z there was a trophy room. It's essentially just Master Roshi's house that you go inside, and once you're in there, you can invite people in your room and they can see your trophies that you know, put on display. Xenoverse 3 could just take this and build off of it and make it its own thing. I mean, you have houses already over the map, like already all over the map. Like you have Goku's house, for example. Now, it'd be cool if a player could buy Goku's house and maybe use it instead of it just being a decoration on the map. Maybe you could go inside of it, maybe even doesn't have to be purchasable, but there could just be different homes around the maps that players could buy and invite people inside. Maybe you could have a dojo in there, and when you use your dojo, it maybe increases your XP gain for a certain limited amount of time, or certain things like that. I think that would be crazy and great to use. And maybe if you have a house, you can, you know, have a time patrol station in your house. You can do parallel quests from inside your home, or boot the mission from there, and boot online lobbies and stuff like that from your house instead of going to the main hub. And maybe if you have a house, when you choose to log into the game, you log in and you're inside your home instead of being in the main hub world. But, you know, there needs to be a lot of interaction in the main hub world if it's going to be big. So there should be things that make people want to go outside. And they could build off of the events also. Frieza can still attack the city. You can have that event happen. You can have different things like Jocko visiting Conton or the new city or whatever it's called. You could have Jocko just randomly visiting and like bringing some rare collectibles, and you have to be there at that specific time for it or something. That might be a crazy idea. I don't know. But just certain things like that. And like I said, hopefully this video is giving you guys ideas of what the new city could have incorporated into it. You know, we have like the huge theater thing over here, the Conton City TV. They could have a huge one in a new Xenoverse 3 city and actually put it to use. Maybe they could have, you know, if the parallel quests have cutscenes in them now and stuff like that, maybe they could just take those cutscenes and just have them on repeat on the TV here or something like that. Just giving people something to do to use the TV for. Or maybe even a better idea, the top players, maybe you can show just different little clips from their fights. Like, you know, because it would be a stretch to be able to keep those clips there forever. That would probably be a lot. But if you were able to just have like a clip from maybe the clips would recycle after a certain amount of time, meaning like, you know, this week there's a certain amount of clips, and then the next week there's a certain amount of clips that are uploaded to the TV that are just going viral or that are just hand-picked randomly from Xenoverse themselves, that are just played on this TV, and people can just come by and see and be like, oh, look at that player, he's it's a crazy clip right there, cool. And they just go about their day, just keep flying around. It just gives you a reason to stop by and look at it. Xenoverse 2 lacks that right now because it's gone on for so long. They can't incorporate all these different mechanics into it. I mean, what you see is what you get. You know, they kind of add different things to the game here and there, but like no major changes to the city. The last major change we got to the city area, or the hub world in Xenoverse, or Conton City, I should say, sorry, was the Conton City TV, as well as, you know, them just changing the icons on the maps. And that's like pretty much what we got. I think they can go bigger and better with Xenoverse 3 and just make different things possible for it. We even have the card station, the Hero Coliseum. I think that instead of having just one Hero Coliseum, there should be like multiple ones of these so people can actually stop by and use it more often, as I don't think anybody really uses it. Maybe they can, you know, tweak the Hero Coliseum and make it a little bit better as well. Different things like that. This is already showing you, like I said, Conton City is already showing us that this is possible within a new game. They can do all of this stuff. You know, maybe having the areas, you know, like Capsule Corporation and Hercule's house and Majin Buu's house, maybe have them integrated within the new hub world as well. I don't know if they should be like in their own respective little like realm, or like their little area where you can't access it without teleporting there. I think that some areas should be that way, and they should include more areas as well. Like we should have you know, like King Kai's house. We should be able to teleport to King Kai's planet and just be on the planet. Maybe he has something there. Instead of it just being the same stuff that we have, you know, they probably would include King Kai's planet. They would probably include like Korin's tower, probably like Beerus's planet, stuff like that. They could just put in, and maybe even like different planets, you know, like, well, we already went off planet with Beerus and King Kai, but you know, different things like the Yardrat planet or something like that. Certain unique things. Even like the Universe 6 Planet Sadala, they could do like a little glimpse of Planet Sadala. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I'm going on a tangent now. But yeah, man. Like I said on one of my previous videos, the masters that we have around the areas, the masters could always just be in the maps themselves. Remember, like I said, this is going off of the open map concept, so please go watch that video and you'll have a better understanding of this entire video here. But with that being said, the open map concept, if you have masters everywhere, they don't have to just be in the main city. Yes, you can still have some in the main city, the main hub world for Xenoverse 3, but you can take them and put them in some maps around different areas too, and that would make it better. Because the maps, I want them to be able to be just like Conton City is right now. We should be able to go around the maps and explore. Now, I'm not saying that the map should have, you know, like a city area and all this. The maps can be what they are in Xenoverse 2, just stretched out, essentially. So yeah. I've ranted for long enough, man. This video is going on 15 minutes. I have a lot more ideas for another city area in Xenoverse 3. If you like this video, get this video to 15 likes, and I'll make another part for this video. I'll do a part 2 for Conton City, or Crontonia, or whatever the new city would be called in Xenoverse 3. I'll do another video on that in the future. As well as look forward to some new Xenoverse 3 content that I have planned for the future. And I also have more videos planned for Xenoverse 2 in the future as well, so look out for that. Thank you guys for listening to me yap. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell if you want to, and peace.